What if someone turned off every camera in your neighborhood before walking into your mother's house? What if the person who took an 84-year-old woman in the dead of night knew exactly which wires to cut? And what if right now, the FBI is holding evidence so explosive that one lab result could blow this entire case wide open? Tonight, we have answers. And what we are about to reveal will make your blood run cold. This is day 37. Nancy Guthrie is still missing. And the FBI just uncovered something nobody saw coming. Stay right here, because this story is about to take a turn that changes everything. Let's start with a discovery that has investigators shaking their heads in disbelief. A damaged utility box found near Nancy Guthrie's home in Tucson, Arizona. Now, at first glance, that sounds like nothing. A broken box on the side of the road. Could be anything, right? Wrong. Investigators now believe this utility box is connected to a deliberate internet outage that hit Nancy's neighborhood on the exact same night she disappeared, February 1st, 2026. Think about what that means. Someone, before setting foot near Nancy's home, may have walked up to that utility box and cut the internet to an entire neighborhood. Why? To blind the cameras. Every Ring doorbell, every Nest camera, every home security system in that area, potentially knocked offline. All at once, all in silence, all in the middle of the night. And then, with every eye in the neighborhood shut, someone walked up to the front door of an 84-year-old woman and took her. This was not a crime of opportunity. This was not random. This was a calculated, pre-planned operation, executed with the kind of precision you see in movies. Except this is real. And Nancy Guthrie is still missing. The FBI is now pulling apart every technical detail of that utility box. Every wire, every timestamp, every fingerprint, every scratch on that box could tell a story. Every tool mark could point to a suspect. This is the kind of evidence that does not lie, and investigators know it. Because if they can prove that outage was deliberate, they don't just have a kidnapper. They have someone who knew exactly what they were doing. Someone who studied this neighborhood. Someone who knew the infrastructure. Someone who prepared for this moment long before February 1st ever arrived. And that changes the entire profile of this case forever. But that's not all. Because while the FBI examines a utility box, something else is sitting in a forensics lab in Florida. And when those results come back, this case could crack open overnight. Here is something the mainstream media is barely talking about. Multiple gloves, found near Nancy Guthrie's home, are still being tested at a private forensic lab in Florida. Still being tested. Now, you may have heard that one glove was traced back to a local restaurant worker, an innocent man with no connection to the case. And yes, that was a painful dead end. But here is what they're not telling you loudly enough. That was one glove. There were approximately 16 gloves recovered from the area, and several of them are still under analysis. Right now, as you watch this video, scientists in a Florida lab are studying fibers, skin cells, and DNA traces from gloves that may have been worn by the person who took Nancy Guthrie. One positive result, one DNA match, one hit in a database. And this entire case transforms in an instant. The Guthrie family knows this. The FBI knows this. And whoever took Nancy Guthrie should know this too. You cannot run from science. You cannot hide from a DNA profile. And the lab in Florida is getting closer to the truth with every passing hour. Imagine opening your inbox and finding a message that describes, in graphic detail, what will happen to a missing 84-year-old woman if you don't pay millions of dollars in untraceable digital currency? That is exactly what happened to TMZ. In a shocking development, TMZ received a new ransom demand connected to the Nancy Guthrie case. And this was no ordinary note. This demand involved cryptocurrency, a form of digital currency other than Bitcoin, specifically chosen because it is harder to trace. The dollar amount, similar to a previous demand, in the range of $6 million. But the content of this email is what truly alarmed investigators. According to TMZ, the message graphically described the consequences of non-payment. It was detailed. It was calculated. It was, in TMZ's own words, highly sophisticated. TMZ immediately forwarded the demand to the FBI. Now, Law enforcement must verify whether this is genuine or whether it came from someone exploiting the case. But here is the dark truth. If this demand is real, it means Nancy Guthrie's captors are still communicating, still negotiating, still out there, and they believe they are untouchable. They believe cryptocurrency will protect them. They believe they have outsmarted the most powerful law enforcement agency in the world. But here is what they do not know. The FBI has some of the most advanced digital forensics experts on the planet. Cryptocurrency is not as anonymous as criminals think. Every transaction leaves a trace. Every wallet has a history. And the FBI is following that trail right now, in real time, with everything they have. So to whoever sent that ransom demand, the clock is ticking. Not for the Guthrie family. For you. Now here's the moment in today's update that nobody wanted to hear. But everyone needs to know. Sheriff Chris Nanos confirmed today that cadaver dogs were deployed earlier in the Nancy Guthrie investigation. Cadaver dogs. Trained to detect one thing. Human remains. They are currently on standby, not actively deployed, but Sheriff Nanos made it very clear. They are available if needed in the future. For the family watching this. For the millions of people who have been praying for Nancy, this is a hard moment. It tells us that investigators are being thorough. That they are leaving no possibility unexplored, that they are facing the full weight of what this case could mean. But here's what we also know. No remains have been found. No evidence of the worst has been confirmed. And the FBI continues to treat this as an active rescue mission. Hold on to that. On March 3rd, Pima County Sheriff Chris Nanos sat down for an interview that aired on the Today Show. And he said something that cut through all the noise. I think the investigators are definitely closer. We've got a lot of intel, a lot of leads. But now it's time to just go to work. Closer. Not we're trying. Not we hope. Not we have no leads. Closer. This is a man who has seen the evidence firsthand. Who has been in the room with the FBI. Who knows what is in those reports that the public hasn't seen yet. And he is saying with confidence that investigators are closing in. He also said, we have information on this case that we think is going to hopefully lead us to solving this case. But it takes time. There is information, specific information that hasn't been released to the public yet. Information that the investigators are using quietly. So as not to tip off whoever is responsible. That is how you catch a sophisticated criminal. Not with noise, with silence, with patience, with precision. This week, a dedicated full-time task force was officially formed for the Nancy Guthrie case. 5 Pima County Sheriff's Department detectives, multiple FBI agents, one mission and only one mission, find Nancy Guthrie. This is not a part-time effort anymore. This is not investigators juggling multiple cases. This is a focused, relentless, round-the-clock team pointed like a laser at one target. Simultaneously, law enforcement went door-to-door in Nancy's neighborhood again this past week, asking residents to check their security footage going all the way back to January 1st. Why January 1st? Because investigators believe the suspect may have been watching Nancy's home for weeks before the abduction. Every car that drove through that neighborhood, every face that appeared on a camera, every digital footprint left behind. They are building a timeline, a detailed, minute-by-minute picture of everything that happened in the weeks leading up to February 1st. And every single frame of footage brings them one step closer to the person responsible. So here is where we stand tonight. A damaged utility box, possibly used to blind an entire neighborhood, is being torn apart by FBI forensic experts. Gloves in a Florida lab hold DNA that could name a suspect before the week is out. A $6 million cryptocurrency ransom demand is being analyzed by federal investigators. Cadaver dogs are on standby. A sheriff is saying on the record that investigators are closer than they have ever been, and a full-time FBI task force is working through the night. This case is not cold. This case is not slowing down. This case is building quietly, powerfully, inevitably toward a moment that will shock the world. Nancy Guthrie is 84 years old. She needs her medications. She needs her family. She needs to come home. And here is something that every single person following this case needs to understand. Cases like this are solved by the public, not just by the FBI. not just by the sheriff department. By ordinary people who saw something, heard something, or know something and finally decide to speak up. The $1 million reward is not just a number. It is a lifeline. It is the Guthrie family saying, "We will give everything we have to bring our mother home." It is Savannah Guthrie. Sitting in a studio she returned to for the first time last week, trying to hold herself together while the whole world watches. That kind of love deserves action. Every single person watching this video right now has the power to help. A face you recognized, a car you saw, a conversation you overheard, a rumor you dismissed. Any of it, all of it, could be the detail that saves her life. If you know anything, call right now. 1-800-CALO-FBI. $1 million. Cash. That is what the Guthrie family is offering. For the truth. For Nancy. Savannah Guthrie said it best, and we will end with her words tonight. It is never too late to do the right thing. Day 37. The search goes on, and we will be here every single day until Nancy Guthrie comes home. Subscribe. Turn on notifications. Because when this case breaks, and it will break, you will want to be the first to know.